Our Mark Salinger joins us now from Northwest Colorado. Mark, you got an up-close look at some of the areas near Meeker that burned in the Lee Fire, and you talked with firefighters who are still working the most active fronts.
Yeah, Kyle, the smoke here outside of Meeker is really intense. You can smell the fire, and it's almost hard to breathe in some instances because the smoke is so strong. I am right outside the roadblock that police officers have blocked off on Highway 13 leading to where that fire is. Most people can't go through that roadblock. Just a couple of hours ago, firefighters took us on a tour of that burn area to see up close and personal what this fire is doing. Just a couple miles down this road outside of Meeker, firefighters say that the Lee Fire is still burning with extreme intensity, continuing to spread more than 116,000 acres. But here where we are inside the burn area, you can see the scars that it's left behind. Fire completely ravaging through this part of the state, and it's continuing to burn very aggressively.
Behind us is some of that extreme fire behavior that we were talking about, largely due to the dry fuels, the weather, hot and dry. The fire gets up into the upper parts of the trees, and at that point it's into the extreme category. And
so here's the remarkable part: 116,000 acres of burned land. 5 homes have been burned so far. That's a testament to the firefighters that are putting up a massive fight to try and protect all the ranches, the homes in these areas, that the fire is coming up to them. Firefighters are literally stationed outside of those homes, protecting them as much as they can. And so far, they've done an absolutely tremendous job.
Really our strategy and our tactic in how to handle that was to just keep up with the main front and utilize strategic firing off of a secure roadway, and to send controlled backfire on our own back up towards the main fire front. And what that does is it removes the fuel in between us and the main fire.
So this is the type of fuel that's burning right now in this area. You can see just how dry it is, and the fire comes through and just ignites everything. In fact, firefighters told me that when you go to a lumber store, the wood is dried out in a kiln to make it so that you can use it. This is even drier than the lumber that you buy at a hardware store. That's why the fire is spreading so quickly. So driving on Highway 13 through that burn scar, you would see all these scorched earth areas, and then all of a sudden some kind of green grass or something around one of the homes, and that is where the firefighters have been stationed, just here in Meeker, right outside of town, before all these hundreds and hundreds of firefighters from around the country arrived to help. Kyle, the people who were defending their town were people like the Meeker volunteer firefighters, not even professional firefighters, but saw the call, came and ran and defended their town before those federal teams could get here and help.
The very first responders. You know, Mark, it's great to hear the firefighter lay out how the backburning works, because I think sometimes people see the maps like we just showed and they wonder how the fires get such clean lines, and it's because those are the fires that are intentionally sent to backburn up to the main fire to get rid of those fuels. Let's talk about Meeker and Rifle, the 2 towns closest to the Lee Fire. What confidence level do firefighters have that they're going to be able to keep the fire out of those towns?
Yeah, so you brought it up there. The tactics that they're using is to try and steer the fire away from these towns. Meeker, they say, is completely in the clear. It's burned all the way around it, or where the fire is burning, so they're not really worried about the fire coming back into Meeker. Rifle, the fire is moving towards Rifle, and they've put some areas in Garfield County on kind of a notice. Hey, you might have to evacuate sometime in the future. But they are pretty confident right now that their strategy and their tactics have several breaks before the fire gets to Rifle. So right now, at least with the fire conditions that they're facing today, they're feeling pretty confident that hopefully they'll be able to start making some containment and steer it away from places like Rifle.
That is wonderful to hear. Mark Salinger, appreciate your days of excellent reporting up there.